Fall into my arms. Your tears fall, it's all my fault. But tears don't fall, they crash around me. Only real rockers to get that part. She told me that I don't have appreciation for stars. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a star. She told me that I don't have appreciation for art. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a scar. I told her take her shoes off, but she running inside my heart. All the dirt from the outside world to leave me scarred. And a couple times I almost watched you leave. When you're not with me, baby, I can't breathe. I remember I was in New York when you called me. I got some bad news, I was in my hotel room when you called me. Turned to a sad dude, mentally bad dude. I don't wanna say too much and start arguing. I wanna love you, don't wanna hurt you. But I can't lie, that shit been on my mind since you told me. I ain't know how to tell you. That face was wrong. I'ma tell you later, babe, I'm on my way home. That's when I get to stressing and assuming the worst. Blowing up your phone, trying not to go berserk. When you called me and you said what you said, that shit hurt. Yeah, that hurt the worst. Said it was an accident, I hope it went on purpose. Only been 6 months, but it feels like years. Remember South by taking Xanax out your purse. We was high, love on our mind. Heavy vibes, souls intertwined. I ain't gonna lie, I damn near died when you told me what happened that night. We was high, love on our mind, heavy vibes, souls intertwined. I ain't gonna lie, I damn near died when you told me what happened that night. Won't you fall into my arms? Your tears fall, it's all my fault. Tears don't fall, they crash around me. Only real rockers to get that part. She told me that I don't have appreciation for stars. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a star. She told me that I don't have appreciation for art. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a scar. I told her take her shoes off, but she running inside my heart. All the dirt from the outside world to leave me scarred. And a couple times I almost watched you leave. You're not with me, baby, I can't breathe. I remember I was in New York when you called me. I got some bad news, I was in my hotel room when you called me. Turned to a sad dude, mentally bad dude. I don't wanna say too much and start arguing. I wanna love you, don't wanna hurt you. But I can't lie, that shit been on my mind since you told me. I ain't know how to tell you. I've crossed the country, I've crossed the world, I've crossed the country, I've crossed the world, I've crossed the country. Travel across the country, across the world. Won't you fall into my arms? Your tears fall, it's all my fault. But tears don't fall, they crash around me. Only real rockers to get that part. She told me that I don't have appreciation for stars. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a star. She told me that I don't have appreciation for art. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a scar. I told her take her shoes off, but she running inside my heart. All the dirt from the outside world to leave me scarred. And a couple times I almost watched you leave. When you're not with me, baby, I can't breathe.
Yo, now before I get started this morning, and before I go ahead and turn up, like I would love to turn up, let me make sure that I start off by saying that I'm gonna replay this song right fucking now. This song it has so much meaning behind it. Before I go ahead and start off my now morning radio show for Passport Bros. Shouts out Passport Bros. But I got to play this one more time, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get started with the content that I got set up for today. And that's what's up. So give me just a second. I got to listen to this one more time. Damn, because there's so much meaning behind this.
Yeah. I'll fall into my eyes. Won't you fall into my arms? Your tears fall, it's all my fault. But tears don't fall, they crash around me. Only real rockers to get that part. She told me that I don't have appreciation for stars. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a star. She told me that I don't have appreciation for art. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a scar. I told her take her shoes off, but she running inside my heart. All the dirt from the outside world leave me scarred. And a couple times I almost watched you leave. When you're not with me, baby, I can't breathe. I remember I was in New York when you called me. I got some bad news, I was in my hotel room when you called me. Turned to a sad dude, mentally bad dude. I don't wanna say too much and start arguing. I wanna love you, don't wanna hurt you. But I can't lie, that shit been on my mind since you told me. I ain't know how to tell you that face was wrong. I'ma tell you later, babe, I'm on my way home. That's when I get to stressing and assuming the worst. Blowing up your phone, trying not to go berserk. When you called me and you said what you said, that shit hurt. Yeah, that hurt the worst. Said it was an accident, I hope it went on purpose. Only been 6 months, but it feels like years. Remember South by taking Xanax out your purse. We was high, love on our mind, heavy vibes, souls intertwined. I ain't gonna lie, I damn near died when you told me what happened that night. We was high, love on our mind, heavy vibes, souls intertwined. I ain't gonna lie, I damn near died when you told me what happened that night. Won't you fall into my arms? Your tears fall, it's all my fault. But tears don't fall, they crash around me. Only real rockers to get that part. She told me that I don't have appreciation for stars. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a star. She told me that I don't have appreciation for art. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a scar. I told her take her shoes off, but she running inside my heart. All the dirt from the outside world to leave me scarred. And a couple times I almost watched you leave. You're not with me, baby, I can't breathe. I remember I was in New York when you called me. I got some bad news, I was in my hotel room when you called me. Turned to a sad dude, mentally bad dude. I don't wanna say too much and start arguing. I wanna love you, don't wanna hurt you. But I can't lie, that shit been on my mind since you told me. I ain't know how to tell you. I've crossed the country, I've crossed the world, I've crossed the country, I've crossed the world, I've crossed the country. Travel across the country.
Travel to another country.
Across the world. Won't you fall into my arms? Your tears fall, it's all my fault. But tears don't fall, they crash around me. Only real rockers to get that part. She told me that I don't have appreciation for stars. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a star. She told me that I don't have appreciation for art. If that's true, then how I fall in love with a scar. I told her take her shoes off, but she running inside my heart. All the dirt from the outside world to leave me scarred. And a couple times I almost watched you leave. When you're not with me, baby, I can't breathe.
Yo, let me say this. Juice WRLD would have been the greatest fucking philosopher / rapper ever had he not died. God bless that soul. Dude, won't you fall into my arms? Your tears don't fall. It's all my fault. The tears don't fall. They crash around me. He's right. Only real rockers would get that part. You got to have a special kind of darkness and pain to know that when tears don't fall from your eyes, they crash around you out of pure guilt and sadness. That's some real shit. She told me that I don't have appreciation for stars. If that's true, how'd I fall in love with a star? She told me that I don't have appreciation for art. If that's true, then how did I fall in love with her scars? Get the fuck out of here. Yo, his lyrics, yo, bruh, this was a deep cat. Damn, bro. I'm sorry, y'all. That's why I be playing the fuck out of Juice WRLD. That and his unreleased shit It's not copyright protected, so I rocks that. But anyways, what's going on, Passport Bros? I want to start everything off. I'm going to try my best to start everything off with either a story or a joke. And this morning, I'm going to try a clean joke. All right. So one day, the guy decided to go to one of his servants, and God ended up saying, "See that man? Well, thou good and faithful servant, you have been an incredible servant, and I wish to bestow upon you one wish. Anything you want, you can have it." So the servant, he then says, "Well, God, I would love to be able to have a staircase that can bring me from earth all the way up to heaven so that anytime I want to see you and Jesus, I can." God said, "No, that's not possible. You can't do that. There's absolutely no way you would be able to see Jesus' face or mine until you die and you come back home. Pick something else." The man thought about it. Servant thought, and he said, "You know what? What I'd like to know is how to get through to a black woman and what it is that black women really want." God thought about it for a few minutes and said, "Let's get started on that staircase." So, anyways, people, it's your guy, Ali the Bastard, here once again this morning. I want to take a look at a little bit more of the most honorable sister, Shahrazad Ali. I'm going to look at one of her interviews back in 1991. This was done on a channel. It was done on a show called Vibrations. The young lady here, she seems like a very decent person. I would do some of her newer interviews, but her newer interviews, whoever it is that does these new interviews with Sister Shahrazad Ali, these people are freaking crazy. I mean, it's like these are some of the worst interviews I've ever seen in my life. Mediocre tutorials or reviews excluded, of course. This was kind of cool, but I can't find the full. But anyways, nonetheless, let's go ahead on to get on this. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this. We'll see you in a little bit, Juice World, but let's go and boom, boom. Let's share that screen and listen to the Honorable Sister Shahrazad Ali.
Today on our program, one of the hottest properties making the talk show circuit, Shahrazad Ali. An established writer indeed, Ms. Ali is best known as the author of The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman, a very controversial and, if I may say so, a very critical view of life of today's black woman. She joins us today in our studio, and of course, we'd like to welcome you today to Vibrations.
Well, thank you, Raven, for inviting me.
Basically, it's your premise that the black woman is out of sync with the natural order of things. Can you explain that?
Well, it's a very sensitive subject, and certainly I believe that I have tried to approach it from a very sensitive angle. What I have actually said is that the black woman's disrespect and rebellion against the leadership and the authority of the black man is a direct cause of the breakdown in the black family structure. It's not an attack on us as black women. It's just saying that in the breakdown of any relationship, both parties have to take responsibility. And as black women, we have been protected and insulated from any kind of examination about what our share of the responsibility is.
And let me go ahead. I want to stop that right here for just a moment because, I mean, we can all look at our past relationships, current relationships in certain cases and understand exactly what this is talking about. I mean, dude, it's totally true that even the premise of black men having authority or leadership within a relationship at this day and age, that premise alone by black women is rejected, which is the reason why we have so many problems here. We have so many problems here in the United States of America. And it's so weird because, like, this sister's foresight was so incredibly fucking powerful to the point that her words back in 1991 reverberates even until today. And probably will not stop making vibrations for a very long time. It's so weird how true words spoken by a true woman, those words can stand up decades later. Decades. Half a century at one point, probably. This woman's words are going to be immortalized at one point in time. Well, they already are. She has immortal words that she spoke within her book and in these interviews. And this is something that every black man should have their child watch. That book is something that they should have their young black boys read, and their young black girls. It's really weird. It's really, really, really weird. Like, man, I'm gonna let me get into it, man. Let's go ahead and get with it, though. Let's get with it. Let's get with it.
In the breakdown of the black family, uh, my book represents the first platform, certainly, that the black man has ever had to air his grievances about the black woman, because no one would ever listen to him. They have only listened to us.
Can you tell us a little bit about the book itself? What brought you to this point of having to sit down and use your pen to write this book?
Well, actually, it was my first book. In 1985, I authored How Not to Eat Pork or Life Without the Pig.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I was going around doing what I was calling Get Off That Hog lectures. And during my travels, I noted that I would take the microscope and show people how you can't kill the trichina worm in pork by cooking it. Heat was not destroying the worm, and I would show them, the difference, and demonstrate how FDA was now using radiation to try to kill the worms in pork because cooking was not working, which is what we had always been told. And during that time, a lot of black men were in agreement to get off eating pork. They wanted to change their eating habits, and they were happy to find out some information that might possibly save their lives. But it was black women who were the most adamant, who refused to change meal planning techniques, seasoning food, cooking techniques. And so I said, it's interesting. I said, if we are refusing to provide the black man with the proper physical food when we know that food is what sustains life, then what else are we withholding from him? Possibly there are some other areas, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, that we are affecting his behavior by what we do or what we withhold and refuse to give. And that led.
And see, that brings me to a point that I actually brought up yesterday. Yo, Sister Shahrazad Ali, man, shouts out to the good sister once again. It's so weird how she just has this clear focus that literally she could see into the future. Well, not literally, but figuratively, she can see right into the damn future. This lady is saying some real shit. Now, women these days, they got a problem when you ask they ask to get up in that kitchen and get to cooking. You tell them to bust them pots open, and they about ready to bust your ass. They ain't trying to hear that shit. They don't want to hear that shit at all. I ain't no maid. Why don't you get up and cook? That the position of a cook in a home is not just a cook. It's not just something you can't look at it as just some line cook feeding an entire family. No, you can't look at it as a job position. You have to look at that position as what it really is, which is a position of prestige and honor. You literally take the charge and are in control of the entire household's nutritional rations. Like you're in charge of that. You literally have the power to make it so that children can get fatter or they can get skinnier. Your man can get bigger or get skinnier. You can actually make sure that you cater, you custom make each person's diet within that household. You literally have the power to make it so that someone can either relax or get energized. It's incredible. I mean, it's an incredible honor.
Led me to try to find. We've always heard that the black man leaves the black family, abandons his woman and children, won't take care of the children, won't work, stays out all night, turns into a drunk, takes drugs. We've heard a lot of negative things. Most of them are true. But I wanted to find out what happens before he gets to that point. What leads up to the breakdown? We've never gone back to try to find out what happens in the relationship between the black man and a black woman that makes him go off and do all of these bad things. To assume that this is just normal, natural behavior for black men would be to assume that he is naturally bad. And I do not believe that the man that God gave to us as a mate is a naturally bad person. And so I wanted to try to examine what goes on with him. What's his side of the story?
Did
We've
a
never
black
examined.
man ask you to write this book?
Oh no, certainly not. I think they were just as surprised as black women. Many of them approached the title of the book with a little apprehension because they have not had a champion. We have never had a black woman who actually stood up and said, "I'm standing up for the black man's side of the story." We know what our side is, and both sides are true. We have done some very dreadful things to each other, and I don't exonerate black men, which is kind of a misconception that people have. I just say that we know his side. What about our side? And we do have a side. We have adopted some wrong standards. We are judging our men many times by the wrong value system. We are using his children sometimes against him. We have been told that the only benefit that a black man provides in a home is money. And if he does not give us money to take care of those kinds of financial provisions, that he has no value. And what my research has proven to me is that a black man, any man in any home provides much more than financial support. The man provides guidance, instruction, discipline for the children, which we sorely need in our black homes. He provides gratification, fulfillment, protection. I mean, there's so many other values, and these values are the ones that are missing in our children today, which is why many black children are in the street, out of control themselves, disrespectful, don't have any regard for anyone. And most of us are scared of them, and everybody else is, because nobody has a way into them to try to gain any control over them. So I maintain that a return to traditional family values, certain clearly defined gender responsibilities for black men and black women in running a home and a relationship will help us to produce a better child. And if we produce a better child, certainly we'll have a better future and a better nation.
And saying all of this, and as calling yourself a champion, and having, if I may say, the courage to write this book and stand by it, you've caused a stir. This book is very controversial. What are you hearing from public reaction?
Well, I don't think that it's an issue among black women about whether or not the book is true or not. The issue is that I was not supposed to tell. These are inside secrets and things that we have never let our men know about. And many times what is that we say? He can't handle me. Well, many times he can't handle us because he doesn't know what it is he's trying to handle. He doesn't understand what motivates us. We have become very adept, many of us, at being able to do something right in front of his eyes and then convince him that that's not what he really saw at all and that it didn't happen. So we've kept him kind of confused.
Excuse me. Do you realize that there are many bookstores, and in particular black bookstores, that have refused to carry the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman?
I think that that's been overblown. Right now, the book is carried in over 5,000 bookstores here in this country and about 2,000 abroad. The book is becoming a bestseller in London. And to date, we only know of 2 bookstores in the entire country who refuse to carry the book.
May I tell you that there is at least one in Tallahassee?
There may be, but they're lost if they're doing that.
The response we got from that book owner was that your book had nothing, absolutely nothing constructive.
Was that a woman who gave you those comments?
Yes, it was.
Oh, how surprising. Okay.
Let's talk about some of the things that seem to be upsetting people, that people are talking
there
about.
Certainly have been a lot of things taken out of context. Anyone who's ever looked at me or seen, witnessed some of the talk shows, they actually exploit a lot of issues. They take them out of context. They want to sensationalize them to build up their ratings to have a good show. So I really appreciate this opportunity to just sit down and have a fireside chat about the book.
Well, I'm glad
without all the fireworks and everything.
You say black women, and I quote you as saying, nag, 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 and that we are essentially responsible for pushing our men away by doing so.
A lot of times we take a position because of our own emotional mechanisms. We harass our men too much. We nag our men too much, and we keep his mind and his head so bundled up and bogged down with all of our personal idiosyncrasies about our day-to-day personal relationship with him, that a lot of times we don't free his mind up to go out and to plan sanely for our future and for the future of our children. Many of them come to us every day and they almost have to do a wind test. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who they're going to meet because we have a lot of reactions. We tend to think as Black women that a successful relationship and one where we're happy is one where everything goes our way. And the first time it goes another kind of a way, then we go into hell, turmoil in our brain, and we start deciding, oh, I've got terrible problems with this man. He won't do what I want him to do. When our men have a side.
Let me give that side according to
they
Scheherazade Ali, okay? You say in your book,
okay, let's
and
get
I'm quoting
Come
you,
on.
okay? The Black man in America is the only male on earth, including every continent, who is disrespected by the women in his nation.
That's true.
This situation does not exist anyplace else among the billions of people inhabiting our planet except here in America.
That's right.
The other black men, the yellow men, the red men, the brown men, and the white men are all honored and respected by their respective nations. All other women recognize and accept that the man is the authority, the ruler, and the leader. Only here in the United States, in the black nation, scattered throughout the United States, is the black man neglected. That's pretty powerful.
And it's absolutely true. We have been displaced. A lot of us don't really understand what slavery actually did to us and how much psychological trauma it did to us regarding what our proper roles are with each other, what our responsibilities are as man and woman in our various communities and relationships. We have never been debriefed from slavery. Not really. We have just, we know we had that history, but we don't know how it affected us. We don't know how much of our actual culture we lost, how much of our ideas were taken from us. We know that our religion was taken from us. We know that our names were taken from us, but we don't know how many other standards of day-to-day life have been removed. And while we have adopted the American way of doing things, they have not worked for us because we have a very special situation. We are not the same as everyone else. And a lot of the people who want us to pretend that slavery didn't exist or to forget about it, they've never been a slave. So they don't know what we're going through. They don't know what this has done to us. It has made us as black women insecure.
Why not? If that's true, why not take up for us? Why not write something that says we need
to take up for us, and we've always had books about black women, how great and how strong we are, and we are that. I'm just saying that we have used our strength in the wrong direction. We have used it against our men instead of standing up for them. And if we start to support our men and to speak a good word for him publicly, then so many people won't be able to come against him and tear him down. And he won't have to feel so frustrated, and he won't be outside away from us looking for peace of mind with women of other nationalities, because we actually want our own black man. We need him back in our homes, and we want to have one. We're just living in a culture where they're trying to convince us that not only do we not need a man, but there's some other options to having one. And
that is a very powerful statement. Very powerful statement. I mean, honestly, the women here in the United States are so incredibly convinced that they don't need us. And I mean, honestly, they're about to actually see what life is without the reality of decent, good black men. I mean, it's getting down to that point now. It's getting down to that point. Passports are being purchased at an expeditious fashion. I mean, those things are flying off the fucking shelves at this point, mainly because of the fact that men are just tired. We're tired. We're tired. It's not like there's absolutely. First off, a man is simple. A man is simple by nature. We're just simple. We take genuine logic and we use that data and we process it and we keep our lives going. That's what we do. That's what we do. The only complications come when there's so many women and all of their emotions and all of their trauma and stress and all of their feelings and shit. My dude, it's like, you know what? It's good to hear a woman be able to speak on behalf of brothers, and it's like, honestly, I just wish these women had gotten the picture a long time ago. I really do, but that goes without saying. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna jump off of this right now. I'm gonna start dealing with something else. But every morning, I do want to actually try to open up, like whatever I do, I want to open it up with the great sister Scheherazade Ali. I feel that after listening to her, I have no choice but to be more intelligent and makes my words fly out easier. So that's exactly what the hell I'm going to do going forward if I ever do this again. But yeah, let's go ahead on and let's take a look here at some things that's going on YouTube for the past week. Anything I show you now from this point on is going to be YouTube stuff for the past week. We're going to do weekly YouTube shit or whatever the hell I feel like I want to cover within the week. And guys, look, when you guys do actually wake up at whatever time in hell that you decide to, feel free to go ahead on a like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, it is not my job to do this shit. I don't ask for money. If it's if you feel like you want to donate, fine. If you don't, whatever. I'm really not that kind of guy. But I would really appreciate the like, comment, and the subscriptions, especially if you utilize anything that I say. I mean, shit, take what it is that you need and discard the rest. But I mean, shit, I would greatly appreciate that. That one I would appreciate, and I will. There. Now, let's go ahead on and take a look here. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to start with. Oh yeah. This brother shit is good. Shouts out to the Bountyville. We're gonna go and take a look at the Bountyville shit. You gotta look at the Bountyville shit. And I already see the two chicks he got up here already. It's this one chick from Africa with her arrogant ass, and then that arrogant bald bitch, Tanya TKO. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start up on these two. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bountyville shit and see what's going on. And of course, Ali Best is gonna jump in there and be a little jackass every once in a while. That's what the fuck I gotta do. I gotta do it for these hookers, as Peso Man, his zesty ass be saying. That's a zesty motherfucker. Oh, and by the way, anybody who knows for a fact when the fuck Peso Man gets on, send a message. Send a message. Just send a message. You be like, Ali, the nigga here. He's here. Just send a message to any one of my videos. I'll get the message. I will jump my ass on immediately. Yeah. I want this guy. I want that smoke, not that guy. I really don't want that guy. I ain't with this shit. This fruit cupcake ass motherfucker. Anyways, but let's go ahead on. Let's take a look at Passport Bros. And let's look at Bountyville's production. Shouts out once again to Bountyville.
They're talking this good game up on TikTok with all their passports waving in the camera. But what are they doing with these passports? They're sitting up in the camera with these damn passports nodding. Well, when are you leaving? Where are you going? When are you going? When are you getting out of here?
Yo, look, hold on. I gotta go back to that, y'all. Look, real shit, if you know you ain't got no damn hair, and you gotta wear them weird ass Western hats or them Amish hats, and you ugly as hell, please don't y'all get together and hold up passports. You already get too much heat as it is. Look, if you're a bald old nigga or you got an Amish hat on, the next time y'all feel like the best idea is to get together and pull up them passports, how about y'all don't do that shit? Can we go and get passport approved brothers to put these passports up so these women can stop talking shit? Because this picture and this little video has gone viral with these bald cats. I don't know what the fuck is wrong. I don't get it. I don't know whether they all met together at Starbucks one morning and said, hey, let's make a video, all of us together holding up our passports and bobbing our heads all the way up. Like, dude, no. Wasn't a good look at all.
Here.
Well, the thing is, once your hair starts going to grow, then maybe men will consider it. But under your nose, men have been slipping in and out of the country. Like, the reason you don't know is because you've been confined to that box called the wall, and you just been waking up to him every morning.
Undisputed, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world.
Because remember, your clock keeps going and going like the Energizer Bunny. So the more your clock keeps going every single day, every single second, every single hour, you continue to lose value. While men with passports show their solidarity, and continue to get baddies.
So true.
Get your damn ass to this motherfucking house right motherfucking now. And I'm not lying. You can't ask me to do a mother thing for your mother ass no more. Your lying ass, because I'm going to put the police on your mother ass.
First, it's none of your business. Second, it's their money. It's their life. And it's not foreign women's fault if American men fall for them instead of you. You must understand, like us Filipino, we are naturally sweet and naturally compassion. Doesn't matter if you are our boyfriend, husband, or lover. If you are just our friend or cousin or whatever, neighbor, we are naturally like that. Okay? And that's what they like about us because we are just sweet. We're very personable, understanding, caring. It's not because we are submissive. We're not submissive.
Hell no, they ain't.
You ask my husband that, he will tell you I'm not submissive.
Beta.
We are just naturally family-oriented people, that's all. And you can't deny the fact here in the United States, it's not like that anymore.
Man, straight up, I ain't gonna lie. I was rocking with her at first, but then she said this BS about her not being submissive when all the qualities that she just named, all the things that men actually look for in a woman and how they are and how they actually behave around men is on point. So it's like, it doesn't make sense.
Well, sir, let me make sure I tell you what. Let me explain it to you. Those are not submissive traits. If you look at the word, it's pretty much a controlling. Submission is no much more than relieving all control to someone else. No, these women aren't submissive. They're agreeable. They're kind-hearted, and they're not argumentative, and they're caring. Like, you know, there's other adjectives. I got what she was saying, and no, they ain't submissive. You're not gonna look a submissive woman. You can literally tell her it's raining outside, and she has to take your word. She pretty much submits her own form of thinking, her own form of thought. So they're not submissive. These women are not submissive, but they are loving, caring women, and they are agreeable. They're agreeable, not submissive.
So, yeah, I'm rocking with her up to that part. But, yeah, other than that, she's right. It's no longer in the United States. You can't really find girls like that anymore. It's been like almost 20 years. You're not going to be able to find women like you would, like I did back in like 2004, 2005, like girls that's like still women. Like, you can't find that anymore, bro. Like, those days are completely over. Just like how they killed them all. Within 30 years, they killed it. It's been at least 20 years that I mentioned, and dating is already dead. It will never be the same. It only took about a decade and a half, but the last 20 years has been terrible.
Dear Passport Boys, dear Passport Bros, stop calling yourself Passport Boys and Passport Bros. Are you going to the Philippines to look for a Filipina queen or what? So stop calling yourself Passport Boys and Passport Bros. Start calling yourself Passport Kings. That's right. You are a Passport Kings.
And not only will they tell you that in your face, these women overseas, they'll actually show you instead of telling you. They do a way better job of doing that. Unless you want to stay here and deal with these mastodons and these whales, that's on you, bro. But if you really want some quality, go overseas, man, and get your passport, please.
And I've had good relationships in my life, but I have never felt like a king or got true king treatment until I went out of this country.
Facts.
Where you're praised, especially as a black man. And one, I'm from America.
Yeah.
And two, I'm black.
For being you. Right.
It's like the world is yours whenever you leave this country.
Listen, I've traveled to over 12 countries. He's absolutely correct. Case in point, he's in Thailand. Well, I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay. And one of the 12 countries that I've been to is Thailand. And what you just saw is absolutely facts. Passport Boys, we up.
American men, most of them are global 8s, 9s, 10s. On a global scale, they are the top. If you make more than $30,000 a year, you're in the top 1% of the world. Most American men, just on that one metric, are literally more attractive, again, just based on money. So it's not easy, it's normal. This is normal.
Yeah.
Walking around and seeing no fat women, it's only in America where everyone's fat and all the girls have to compete with nobody. and they have access to the top like men of the planet.
I disagree with that last part because they do have competition. They're competing with each other for those top guys' commitment. So they're getting ran through most of the time, and those guys have options, and they're just some of those options, side girls that, you know, they're in the only sex category, the sex only category, and they don't know they're there, and they're probably never going to come out of it. So they do have options, but do they have competition? Of course. They compete with each other every single day. That's why they're on social media more than us. They're on Instagram. They're always looking their best. They're always wearing short, skimpy stuff because they're competing for the top guys, and most importantly, those guys' commitment.
As a man, there is no worse place to be than America.
Problem with passport bros.
So I was thinking about this. Why do they care? Why do they care that men are going their own way and finding women in foreign countries? Why are they so upset? Why do they call them dusty and useless and then get mad that they're leaving? They don't want them, but they don't want them to leave. And why are they making these videos? To tell us how they don't care. And it finally struck me. The video is not for the passport boys. The videos are for their orbiters, the friend zone men. They want to make sure they don't get this idea in their head that they can go somewhere else, that there are other women available to them if they just leave the country. They need these men to stay in their orbit, to keep validating them. That is what they're terrified, is they will lose the influence they have amongst the few men who still put up.
This is a fact, and this is what I always mention. This is panic mode, because once the resources from all those simps dry up, like I always say, when the well dries up, I'm telling you, they are going to be scrapping and scraping for any man they can get a hold of. And in the Bible, it does say, Isaiah 4:11, that 7 women will cling to one man and ask for their shame and their disgrace to be taken away. And they will be called by that man's name, and they will eat from him, and pretty much they will be provisioned by one man. That's how bad and desperate it's going to get as the time goes by. And like I always say, I will be here to report it. But he's absolutely on point. And this is what's happening with the Passport Bros movement and the effect that it has on modern women.
All right, yo, guys. Now, I just went on ahead and made 40 minutes. Hopefully, you guys can use that and do with it what you made on your early morning commutes to work or whatever the hell it is that you're doing. Yo, I'm bored as hell. Don't feel like actually saying any damn thing else, so I'm gonna bounce up out of here. I will be back later on the day so I can keep more calls in the smoke that I need to cause with the Peso Man. I gotta go after this guy. I have to. Like, no. Especially if Cat get online today. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe. It's your guy, Ali the Bastard. Y'all know what to do. Peace.